Political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens. Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chiki Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello peeps, my name is Yomi E. Adejimo.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul UTONOMY.
Hi everyone, my name is Stacey Benjamin and this is Voice of the People TV.
I need you to keep it locked to VOP TV. See, are you looking for good entertainment? You want to get good movies, good music, politics, talk shows, sports and entertainment. You really want a channel that gives you everything you need without you having to run around. VOP is where you are. That's Voice of the People.
If you're not listening to this, you're not one of us. And you deserve to be killed. Scrap chat. Don't be killed, but watch it. Or I'll find you. And I want you.
And you are locked on VOP TV. Don't go nowhere. This is where the juice is. This is where all you need for entertainment, politics, movies, and whatnot.
And keep watching VOP TV.
So keep it locked because I'm locked already, man, and it's money back guarantee. So you're gonna have a good time because I do.
And please keep watching VOP TV.
I won't want you actually. I beg you, subscribe, watch it. If not, whatever you see.
You better not touch that die because VOP is the plot.
Poor quality of human I see sometimes. This station is Voice of the People TV.
Why? But what Voice the People on VOP? Stay tuned.
Dialogue. Conversations. This help your weekly guide. Trust your wellness to urgent. You got health check only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
My name is Kuti and you're watching VOP TV.
Come on, voice.
What? Good luck. I am Jerry. At 5 p.m. Nigerian time as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of ball. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ike Chukwu and Mayowa, to break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Live with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, with the sport.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the Atlas.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. Analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us to find what tells to you. Voice of television. Oh, now, voice.
Welcome on board. It is People's Voice on Voice of People TV, where season stories shape the narrative. And today we dissect a major story that is dominating the headline and sparking conversation across the nation. Autonomy battle, local demand direct funds as states receive 7.43 trillion naira. Join the conversation with experts, insights, and season perspective. Share your thoughts with us. I am Saviour Udo. Let's look into other news stories with details. Tinubu happy with your leadership, Ribadu tells Fubara, the National Security Advisor. Malam Nuhu Ribadu has praised River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara for his responsible leadership, stating that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is happy with this during a cut to the house in Port Harcourt, where from that particular plans, Tinubu's 2026 budget proposal. Of course, they actually called it a debt trap. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 2026 budget proposal, describing it as a dangerous debt trap that will mortgage Nigeria's future and deepen the country's fiscal crisis. The party faulted the government's claim that represents renewed resilience, that it reflects failed fiscal practice. And away from that, DMO urges it to borrow responsibly, comply with law. The Debt Management Office has called on state government to comply with the relevant laws when borrowing. DMO Director General Neha emphasized to avoid delays. The reason why I'm just taking all of my guest analysts would, take one or two out of all of this, to dissect before we go to the major, story for the day. Federal government sets sight on secure, prosperous Nigeria by 2026. Federal government has actually come out to say that they plan to build a secure, competitive, and prosperous Nigeria in 2026, following a year of consolidating reforms and strengthening national foundations. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, stated that 2025 focused on stabilization, while 2026 will prioritize sustained economic growth and improve national security. The government has highlighted economic improvement, including GDP growth and declining inflation, and of course, prioritize security, declaring a nationwide security emergency and increasing recruitment into the armed forces and Nigerian police force. And of course, here at the federal government's portal, federal government introduces mandatory drug tests for public service applicants. The federal government has actually come out to say that they would approve, of course, mandatory pre-employment drug testing for prospective public service applicants to tackle the growing problem of illicit drugs use and its impact on national development and security. The directive requires permanent secretaries and head of extra ministerial department, parastatals to make sure that drug testing is a core requirement for all new recruits. And of course, I would have also wanted them to take this to our lawmakers as well, let the test go round, and I think with that it will be fine. And away from that particular one, no account freeze in 2026 where Oyedele dismisses false claims. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, has dismissed claim that Nigeria's bank accounts will be frozen or automatically debited from January 2026. He described the report as false and misleading, urging Nigerians to verify information from official sources and ignore unsubstantiated claims. And of course, he said that the design is to create this whole situation, of course, is to create a panic and fear. But what the federal government have actually designed is to, help businesses and, of course, the poor. Just like I mentioned yesterday, he still reiterated that. Oyedele emphasized that no provision in the new law authorizes the freezing of bank accounts. Till then, that's all I can actually say. To join the conversation, kindly call the number 0907-32605, 090447-32605. Follow us at V5. You can use the Apple's Voice on TV, and of course on YouTube, we're Voice of the People TV. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together we can make our voices heard. It is time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll be taking the conversation here. Autonomy battle, local governments are demand direct. Our state received 7.43 trillion naira. You don't go nowhere. Stay tuned, please. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the association local and of council funds account allocation committee, despite a Supreme Court ruling granting financial autonomy to the local government. State governments have continued to retain control over allocation, with 7.43 trillion naira passing through the state government between July 2024 and December 2025. We're now being joined by Dr. Dayo Kayode, a social political technocrat. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
Doing very well, Doctor. Compliment of the season.
Yes, I wish you the same, but is there anything complimentary about the season whereby we hear somebody talking about stabilizing the economy, and then because they have used this a year to grow the economy in the areas of GDP and then reduction in inflation? When you're talking about that, how does that translate to the well-being of man? Has there been a kind of translation of that to how Nigerians put bread and butter on their food? Thank God for last night that last conversation we had yesterday, I said, look at me now, that since yesterday I've not eaten. I think a friend of mine was now listening. He now called me. Dayo, what's wrong with you that you have not eaten? You know, sent me 5,000. Okay.
But that's you have.
And access. Number one, for how long we won't be relying on others for survival? Now, look at what Oyedele is saying again, as if we are feeding bottle babies. we are feeding bottle citizens. That government is not going to this, government is not going to that. Is it today we have been hearing that? When Tinubu was removing subsidy, what did he say? He said he was going to throw a lot of buses on the road. He's going to do this. He's going to give a student's loan. He's going to... Excuse me, which one has he been able to achieve? Rather, increments in tariffs of various forms of services that Nigerians are supposed to even be enjoying, not so that they will be able to feel the impact of economic strangulation that they're experiencing. My question this afternoon to viewers is, which way Nigeria? Which way to go?
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor, for that particular as regards to the news. Of course, this serious situation here, this authority, what's your take as regards to, situation to come issues doing it. But so many, local government chairmen has been crying out and saying that they don't even have access to all of this funds. So what's your take as regards to this situation?
Is it even supposed to be in the first instance? If not because some people out there who sees themselves as the Alpha and Omega are being reckless about our constitution. 3 tiers of government: the federal, the state, and the local governments. And the 3 are supposed to stand independently and interdependently. Interdependently in terms of the federal putting the resources together, dividing the money, and the local government be supervising the activities of the local government, just as the federal government is also supervising the activities of the states, the federating states. Now, independent in terms of fiscal responsibilities, and the well-being of the people. So tell me, even in the first instance, is anybody supposed to be holding the local government into ransom by holding on to their resources? We are seeing situations whereby the monies of the local government, and the local government chairman are being given well, it has to pay. Those chairmen were being nominated and then enjoying their stay in office at the mercy of the governors. Because before now, elections had not been to put in place a democratically elected local government managers. Local government managers, in terms of the chairman and the councillors. So to that extent, there will have been a serious agreement between the governor, who normally appoints them there at his own will, that listen, even if 50 million is coming to you from the federal, I'm not going to release more than 5 million to you. What will they do? They will be able to put pets to them. It is how they are being, it is religions and all that you now see them crying out. So not until when we have a responsive federal government, state government, that the local government will be able to enjoy their autonomy. And beside that, the judiciary must also be seen to be adjudicating without fear or favor, allowing both the rule of law, justice, and equity to play out within the political fabric of
Doctor, I understand that today you started on a very, will I call it a calm note, which we want to see how the momentum, so at least first time to say that we have to, for insisting that the local government autonomy, should be given, and the states government should not, be in charge of all of this, because, over the past years, for some time now, everyone has just been castigating or saying so many things to the president, saying that he's not been doing what is right, or he's not even paying attention to the people or to the grassroots and all of that. But for him fighting for local government directly now, would you at least for the first time agree that he's doing what is right?
It is for one thing for somebody to be saying something. It's for another. When this issue was even taken to the Supreme Court the other time, and the case was won at the Supreme Court, what happened in Lagos State? What happened in Lagos State? Whereby a local government was removed. Because why? It was not ready to administer its own local government according to the dictates of the governor. And the governor instigated the House of Assembly against him. He was removed. Look at what is also happening in Osun. Should I be giving kudos to the president with what is happening in Osun? Why is he allowing that to happen in Osun? That's why the declaration of the competent court of jurisdiction. So tell me another way or another issue upon. It's one thing to say something, it's another thing to say, to act it. Will you applaud me? Let us take this analogy, Savior. Will you applaud me? If when you call me to invite me to your program, and I promise you, yes, I will come. I promise you I will come. And at the end of the day, 4 o'clock, you are in the studio, and I couldn't join you. will you not be applauding it based on the promise I made but could not fulfill?
All right, so
that's information.
So, doctor, you would agree that for him to,
I will not agree with you except you say the things that will go with my own thoughts.
Doctor, you know why I'm saying that.
It doesn't go with my own thinking. I won't agree with you.
Why I'm saying that you would agree with me is that I understand the fact that you're trying to, create some scenarios, but the president has mentioned that if this particular thing is not done, as regards to government is allocated to the local, and I feel he is even ready to step up if the state actors are not doing what is right. So he didn't just promise; he wants to follow suit to make it right and to make sure that he sees it through, to the final end. So at this point, would you still be saying that the man has not done enough, or is not even trying at all? And of course, I would want you to answer that, but let me ask you this, So what are the potential benefits and challenges of implementing direct funding for local governments? Because you know that we also have some issues that we need to talk about as regards to the people you want them to have total control of this particular, money. But please go ahead.
Now, it is one thing to be saying it's going to issue an executive order for the implementation. Is it today that he has been saying things and at the end of the day he will not do it? Is it today that Bola Ahmed Tinubu have been promising things and then go against it? Did they not promise students that be giving them loans? Did they not promise that the money gained from subsidy will be used for infrastructural development? Did they not promise that it will also ensure that people are safe in this country? Did they not also tell us sometimes ago that yes, we have been able to meet the financial targets for this year and still borrowing? So tell me, how do you want me to believe him? Am I even sure when he even issues the executive order, it's not something that will be done behind? That the National Assembly passed on to him. By the time that same reform will be gazetted, some things have been changed there.
But that's still based on speculation.
You will come back. Wait. According to some members of the National Assembly,
that has not been confirmed, Doctor.
It has been changed. But will National Assembly be lying? If you are telling me something about your station now, your station now,
Doctor, the same National Assembly. Doctor, the same National Assembly said that they've actually set up a committee to look into all of these allegations.
What do you expect? Is it not same as National Assembly that is singing on your Monday we shall stand?
We were told that they only played the song, that it was not from them.
Is it not the same National Assembly that was singing on your day we shall stand? What is the relationship between the executive, that of Bukola Saraki, and the executive, and that of the time of David Mark and the executive? So no matter whatever they are saying, some of them had already mentioned In Yoruba, there's an adage. Anybody jalè lẹ́ẹ̀kan tó bá dàrán borí aṣọ olè ló dàbora. That is, whoever had been caught stealing once, stealing, no matter what that person is parading himself with, those things are products of stealing. So what are you talking about? Anyway, let's go to the second part of your question regarding local government.
Yeah.
The local government is the tier of government that is closest to the people. I mean, if I could die, it is easier. It is easier. Less costlier. With that, for me to go and meet my local government chairman, that to travel as far as Alausa to go and meet the governor, or to move to Abuja to go and see the president. That is number one. Number two, there is nothing you want to say about governance. Nothing you want to say about governance that is not localized.
Doctor, I was really, that is about funds from the local government. That was what I was, talking. That was the area I was, tilting to, that if they have access to this particular funds on their own.
We'll come back to that after this.
Yeah,
we'll come to that.
That was what I was really talking about,
Is to the, it will be advantageous and a kind of both economic, social, and political development for the local government to be empowered in administering all of this. No doubt about it. But it's so unfortunate that the so-called political oligarchs, local government as a they can use to expand their coasts, their political territory. So to that extent, they have not been allowing people with capacity, people that has character, people that understands the needs of the people, people that understands that it is better to follow or to become on the people develop. And that is why you now see them coming up with various forms of characters. Being at the ends of affairs at our various local governments. Those people that they have used as thugs for them during election, they put them there. Sometimes they put their close allies that can do their bidding. I don't know whether you are aware that was it today or yesterday that Sanwo-Olu just sworn in the son Speaker of the House of Assembly, Obasa, his son, as the local government chairman of Agege local government. What pedigree has that boy? What pedigree?
Doctor.
What does he know about local administration?
Doctor, I wouldn't want us to use emotions or sentiments or
it's not about emotion. I'm using an analogy.
Doctor.
I'm using it as an example
Doctor,
of cronies.
Doctor, I understand that you might actually say that the present local government chairman of Agege is young, but if he was not competent enough, I don't think the former local government chairman, his predecessor would have picked him as a running mate. And of course, and of course,
are you aware of the politics of that place? No, listen.
Doctor, that's not your political party. Whatever you want to say as regards to how it was picked. Doctor,
I can tell you what happened.
Doctor,
if you want me to say
Doctor, if you want to say what happened, it is based on what you were told. So
not what I was told, what I know.
But Doctor, that's not your political party. You are not a member of APC.
It doesn't matter.
So how would you know how would you know how it was picked?
Well,
you were not at the primaries.
I have people. All of us, we still work together. I don't play politics. I don't play politics of acrimony. I play politics of inclusiveness. I play around with people in APC. I play around with people in Labour. I play around.
Doctor,
you will see all load of them there as my friends.
Doctor, regardless of the friendship you would keep with anybody in the opposition party, it doesn't mean that they would divulge some information, especially sensitive information from their party to you. The same way you can't do that from ADC. The same way you can't do that from ADC to them, Doctor.
What is happening in APC? Who is telling you they're happy?
You say?
Who is telling you most of them are happy? They are not happy.
Are you people happy? Are you people also happy in ADC?
Why not?
You people are happy in ADC.
Why not?
But APC is not happy. All right, so that's not what we're discussing.
Anyway, you can never fight for them. Because here you will see a local government, not even the chairman, ordinary councillor, going around in convoys. Convoy for what? In your local government? You that is supposed to be very close people? Where are you getting the fund from? Who is made a local government of a particular place now? The moment is being sworn in and he gets there, you see him leaving that area and then going to live in some exquisite and then be administered. What extent are they allowing dividends of democracy to get to the people? You will see they will be they did not even do.
So, Doctor, that was Doctor. These were the areas I was, talking about. Now you're touching these areas, and we should suppose if the order does not really work. A particular local government is 50 million. If it decides to give 5 million, no say anything. But of course, we want a seamless, transfer of funds that the 50 million actually gets to the local government. But we need someone to also supervise that particular body. Otherwise, a local government chairman would also feel like, a new governor area. So, aside from that particular one, how should they be regulated? How should they be supervised? And all of that. That's what I want to talk about. And also, I would like you to take this simultaneously. How do you assess the reaction of state governments to Supreme Court ruling, not wanting to actually, follow that particular order? I would like you to take that simultaneously as we move.
Now, Now, you see, the National Assembly passes the budget. And there is no member of National Assembly, especially House of Reps, that is not from a designated local government. That is one. Two, the fiscal whatever commission that distributes this amount is Assembly commission come to a particular local this month and let people know. Let people know. Local government in are passing their budgets at the council, is also submitting it to their state House of Assembly. That is 3. 4. There must be a situation whereby whistleblowers will be encouraged. As done. They should quickly go and see whether, yes, that project has been done or not. And to that extent, for all these things to work appropriately, inclusive of other levels, the state and the federal government, our institutions must be strengthened. When strengthened, when our can easily be compromised, no amount of change you will put in this thing that it will work in the local government. Look at that the federal government have been giving the state since the removal of the oil subsidy. To what extent has this money be expended to ensure good livelihood? People, to what extent? And we need to ask them questions. We need to hold them responsible. Essentially, while I'm proposing that the amount of money that comes to the state, the local government, and the federal every month has to be published for people to know. But aside from that, no matter how knowledgeable the people are on this, the institutions that are supposed to dispensing money, they are not there. Not you see must and ensure that the essential of their creation are being met.
Okay. And of course, in wrapping up, I'd also like you to even make even more recommendation, and I would like to ask you what recommendation you would like to, make as regards to, to policymakers, stakeholders, to ensure successful implementation of direct funding for local governments. I would like you to just, and as you have, you're close to different councils and of course and you understand grassroots politics very well. So it's better you also prefer solution for us in this nation. So please go ahead.
On the area of self-funding of the local government?
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, there was a time I prepared a template on that. Self-funding of local government. There are a lot of things local government can do. A lot. At the local government level, without taxing people unnecessarily, you can build market stores, beautiful ones, and then you give out to people there. People will be ready to pay. And you are not embezzling it. At the end of the day, it will rub off on the people. That is one. Two, you can encourage cottage industries, whereby you see people making soap, cream, perfume, sandals, shoes, clothing, and all that. And when they are making that, you make sure that they are doing it in a very neat way that can be exported. And when people are exporting that, that means they are bringing in forex to your local government. I was somebody, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday in the US? He was now asking me from Nigeria to America. You know the I mentioned? I said number one, kuli alata. You know, that kuli in America, we compete successfully with some of these biscuits and all those front and yes. Use the spices. Pepper, you can use pepper for what? You use garlic for what? You export them. Local government can facilitate that. Farming.
Yeah.
If you don't have land for farming, you can collaborate with other local governments for farming. And then most of these things, you export them. All these secondary schools and the tertiary institutions, you can them, especially their engineering department and all that. During Christmas like this, there are some of these things you can be making from China. Their secondary school pupils always. And then we bring them to Nigeria, people will be rushing. Hey, this is fine. No, this is Bisco lights. Why can't we make it here?
All right, Doctor.
I have a template on that local government administration.
Thank you. Thank you for actually providing a solution, especially local government chairman of Agege, and of course is watching. Actually, watch a recap of this.
I hope they will come and consult that, because I have given all those things
now that's to let you know that you don't really have issues with him. You only have issues with the system that brought him in, or the party. So this is how far we can actually go on the show this wonderful evening. Dr. Karide for being part of the production. Thank you for being part of this wonderful program today.
I always enjoy having serious conversations with you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, this is how far we can actually go. Thank you so much. This is how far we can actually go on the show this wonderful evening. If you love the world of sports, I'd like to stay put. Coming up next is Locker Room. Yes, sir. Don't forget that it is the Udotime season to share love. Make sure that you put a smile on people's face, and don't be the reason why people, should be sad around you. Whatsoever you have, share it around with people, and make sure that everyone actually feel that particular, love atmosphere as regards to Christmas. Okay, don't give up because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough will do last. Whatsoever you face will soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. My name remains Savior Udo. Have a good evening. Rest.